Hey. Good afternoon. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day. Welcome again to another episode of Football is a Religion. I'm Bubesi Umphathi Umhlaba. Welcome to Football is a Religion. If you're new to this channel, welcome, man. Let's grow this global community together, man. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man. And also provide your own comments and your own analysis, right? Showcase in the comment section, of course. So, right, we'll get straight into it, right? What we will be discussing is the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, right? We've been anticipating it. We've been looking forward to it. Yes, I know some of you guys, most of y'all at home haven't been looking forward to the quarterfinals of this year's Carabao Cup due to the fact that obviously your teams might be out. If you're an Arsenal supporter, of course, you wouldn't look forward to it. If you're a Manchester United or Manchester City supporter, of course, you wouldn't be looking forward to it. If you're a Tottenham supporter, of course, you wouldn't be looking forward to it. So I'm pretty much aware that most of your guys' teams are out of this tournament, and like I said, I'm pretty much aware of most of the fact that most of your teams are out of the tournament, and they stand no chance of at least gaining some early silverware, right? So yeah, let's go to the pick of the cup, the pick of the ties, right? The pick of the last 8 ties, right? We head straight to Stamford Bridge. We head straight to Stamford Bridge, right? 5-time champions took on Newcastle United, last season's finalists at the Bridge. So coming into this one, both teams, yes, they came off back of victories, right? Newcastle United won at home by 3-0 against Chelsea's crosstown rivals. Not crosstown rivals, I meant to say, but they are like local rivals, Fulham, by 3-0 at St. James's Park. And then on the other side of Chelsea were comfortable. They won by 2-0 against Sheffield United at Stamford Bridge just a fortnight ago. So coming into this one, yes, both teams were beaming with confidence. Remember, Newcastle were knocked out recently. They were dumped out of the Champions League recently, so they were hoping to actually put that disappointment behind them by actually advancing to the last 8 of the Carabao Cup competition. As for Chelsea, they haven't had the best of seasons, so this perhaps did provide some sort of an opportunity for them to get their season on track, as well as for them to actually gain some form of silverware, gain some form of silverware in terms of them actually playing European football next season, because currently Chelsea look far off the pace. They don't look like a team that will be playing in European football, let alone playing in the UEFA Champions League next season. So their best bet can perhaps be the Europa League, even if it also looks unlikely based on their league performance so far this season, based on where they sit. They currently sit 10th in the league table currently, right? So, yeah, it still remains a mystery, but we will see as time goes onwards. But then remember, if you win the Carabao Cup or if you win the FA Cup, you do automatically gain qualification to play in next season's Europa League. Yeah, so let's get to it first, right? Chelsea have won this competition in the last time they won this competition was in the 2014-2015 season under Jose Mourinho, right? That was the time when they actually did a double. They also won the Premier League title. And like I said earlier on, Chelsea have won this tournament for 5 times. They've won it 5 times as well, right? And this is perhaps like the 6th meeting between Newcastle and Chelsea, in this competition. The 4th at Stamford Bridge, as well as the 3rd time they meet at this stage of the competition. Obviously, Chelsea have emerged victorious in 4 of the previous 5, right? And one thing that is also worth noting is that Chelsea have won 24 of their last 35 games against Newcastle United at Stamford Bridge across all competitions, including 10 of their last 11. So, yeah, obviously history pretty much favors Chelsea. Obviously, the odds favor them. But remember, coming into this one, Newcastle is not an underdog. Was not an underdog at all, considering the fact that Newcastle, the Magpies, were flying high, are on a high, irrespective of their recent Champions League exit. They are still really on a high. They've had a wonderful season so far, although their away form has been very poor, to say the least. So, the Magpies, to say this is like their third quarterfinal appearance, right? As well as the fact that they were last season's finalists, only losing out to Manchester United at Wembley Stadium by 2-0. And what's also worth noting is that Newcastle United have never won a major trophy since the 1954-1955 season. So it's pretty much a long time. It's pretty much a long time right now. And obviously they were willing to actually use this competition as an opportunity to break that duck, as an opportunity to break that drought of not winning a single trophy in so many decades, right? Let's go straight into the game. So the game, we did expect it to actually be fast-paced. We did expect both teams to actually, play some enterprising football, both teams to actually go at one another, to have a go at one another, right? We did expect some end-to-end stuff, and that's exactly what we saw, We first saw the first real opportunity that we saw in the game was from Captain Conor Gallagher, from an Enzo Fernandez corner. As the ball came, as from a clearance, it landed straight in his feet. Wonderful control by the Chelsea captain. He tried to curl the ball bend the ball into the bottom, into the top corner. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be as it hit the crossbar. Conor Gallagher is yet to score this season for Chelsea. And remember, he has come under fire. But look, his performance throughout this game has been phenomenal. He really put up a captain performance. And that was a great shot by Conor Gallagher. He was just unlucky that the ball hit the crossbar. From that point onwards, Chelsea weren't much in the game. They were much more dominant as well. What I saw, though, is that, unfortunately, their defense, once again, really let them down. Defending has been very bad for Chelsea. Because you saw the way how they conceded the goal in the 16th minute. Callum Wilson, scoring his 8th goal in all competitions, right? That is basically his first in the competition in the Carabao Cup. He has already scored 7 goals so far in the Premier League. As well as, remember, last season he scored 18 in the Premier League last season. So, Callum Wilson has shown that, he's still a predator in front of goal, irrespective of the fact that he's like second choice. The person who's preferred above him is a Swedish striker, Alexander Isak, who has been on superb form this season. But let's talk about the goal that Callum Wilson did score in the 16th minute, right? I think Chelsea should have done better. Yes, the back pass was very poor, right? Obviously, Caicedo couldn't actually control it. As you could see, he tried to stretch for the ball, but he couldn't get it. But then, if you look at it, for what it is, Thiago Silva at the back with his central defensive partner, they should have done better. They really should have done better in terms of defending that one. That was just a poor defending from Chelsea. That was just a poor way of conceding. And it did speak once again to Chelsea's defending this season. Chelsea have been very horrendous at the back. Regardless of the fact that, at some games they've performed very well, but they've been horrendous at the back. They've been horrendous, to say the least. And look, they were punished, deservedly. Callum Wilson, lucky goal. He was just given the goal on a platter. The ball was just given to him on a platter. And there was no way you could expect Callum, the England international, to actually make a mistake in front of goal and not capitalize to get his 8th goal of the season in all competitions. And as we go forward, Chelsea did create chances in order for them to get back into the tie. Raheem Sterling being in the thick of things. Raheem Sterling, as you can see, he and Nicholas Jackson actually combined very well. Nicholas Jackson, who has also been on superb form this season as well. Not necessarily throughout the season, but, he's starting to get his grip. He's starting to get his scoring boots. His scoring boots have been sharpened, and you can see he's starting to hit the back of the net. Ever since he scored that hat-trick against Tottenham, you could see now that his confidence has been reboosted, and you can see like he's on a high. Currently, the combination between him and Sterling did prove to be effective at times. Him and Sterling did combine, only for the England international shot to actually be dragged wide. But it was a great shot from Sterling. You could tell what he was trying to do. He was trying to bend. He was trying to place that ball into the bottom corner, but unfortunately it just went narrowly wide. Remember, Sterling did score that brilliant free kick against Newcastle in that 4-1 humiliating defeat at St. James's Park just a few weeks ago. So he was hoping to get his second goal against Newcastle in Chelsea colours. Remember, he has scored several times against Newcastle, as well as he has scored several times against Eddie Howe. You know, during the time when Eddie Howe was coach at Bournemouth, scoring a hat-trick against Bournemouth even. So Sterling does have a good record against Newcastle as well as Eddie Howe, you know, as a manager. And we saw again the England international did have another opportunity. You know, he forcing a great save out of Dubravka, the Newcastle goalkeeper. That was great work from Sterling. It was not actually a save from the goalkeeper. It did look like a save from the goalkeeper, but it was basically a clearance off the line by the Brazilian midfielder Bruno Guimarães. Great clearance off the line by the Brazilian midfielder, man. He was just in the right place at the right time, because if you look at that shot by Sterling, that was very clever play from Sterling. You know, eliminating two defenders, finding his way away from two defenders, finally unleashing a shot from close range. Yes, great defending once again from Bruno Guimarães, you know, because goalkeeper was beaten. There was no way Dubravka would have saved that one. And, you know, going into halftime, right? Yes, the score was still at 1-0. Nicholas Jackson also had a wonderful opportunity to get the equalizer. Unfortunately, he also dragged his shot very wide. Yes, it was a great turn from the Senegalese international, although unfortunately he dragged his shot wide of the mark. Again, in the second half, luckily Chelsea made super subs. We'll talk also about the Enzo Fernandez incident of where he had to be replaced on the 31st minute of the game due to the fact that it was said by Mauricio Pochettino that he was suffering from an illness. You know, there was nothing really serious about Enzo Fernandez. It was not an injury whatsoever. It was just said that he was suffering from a minor illness. That's why he couldn't continue with play. That's why he had to be replaced in the 31st minute of the game. Although the Argentine, it has been reported that he will be available for selection in the upcoming games for the Blues. So it's nothing serious. It's nothing to actually worry about. In the second half, we saw Chelsea actually made wonderful substitutions, you know, for super substitutions. We saw a double change, Christopher Nkunku, the moment that every Chelsea supporter has been waiting for, the moment that everybody has been waiting for, seeing the Frenchman finally make his debut for the Blues. Unfortunately, he couldn't make his debut for the Blues so this season up until last night's game, due to the fact that, you know, he suffered from a knee injury during preseason, so which actually kept him out for so long, for like 5 months now. That's the only reason why he returned yesterday and made his debut. And boy oh boy, he did make an impact. Not to say like he made an impact on the field of play, but he did, you know, score. You know, he was amongst the goals in the penalty shootout, seeing his side advance through to the semi-finals. So let me tell you how this actually happened. From that point onwards, Chelsea dominated the second half. You know, they were far dominant. Newcastle, I don't remember Newcastle even having a single shot at target in the second half, but then Chelsea were very dominant. We saw Chelsea actually providing great crosses, but then unfortunately Chelsea did not have many players in the box. Chelsea were not really, you know, I don't necessarily think that they were showing much urgency in terms of wanting to get back into the game, although they were dominant, because if you look at all the crosses that they've been playing into the box, you know, they were underrepresented, you know. Yes, we saw that one opportunity where unfortunately Gallagher just couldn't get to it. He couldn't just tap in the ball on time, in the nick of time. We saw Mykhailo Mudryk also coming on. He did also try and change the game here and there. But eventually, yes, Chelsea did get their goal. You know, some great work done by Mano Gusso on the right-hand side, bringing in a brilliant cross once again. Yes, it was over the heads of all the Chelsea players. Unfortunately, yes, Kieran Trippier has had like a dip in form. Kieran Trippier once again made an error, and guess who was there to pounce on it? Mykhailo Mudryk. Mykhailo Mudryk was there to pounce on it, scoring his third goal for Chelsea, which is like his third goal in all competitions this season. So it was basically a lucky goal. It was another goal that was given on a platter. It was a very indecisive header by, Trippier, as he was trying to head the ball back to Newcastle goalkeeper Dubravka, but it was a sign of indecisiveness. It was very poor from the England defender, and it speaks again to his dip in form. Remember, he made two costly mistakes in that 3-0 defeat to Everton at Goodison Park, as well as he also made a horrendous mistake in that 4-1 defeat against his former club, Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So yeah, it's been a dip in form for him. He hasn't really been on form, because he's often Mr. Reliable. But then I think as a Newcastle, if you're a Newcastle supporter whatsoever, I think you just need to stick by him. Yes, everybody makes mistakes. Even the best players make mistakes. Everybody has their bad days. Every player goes through a time where they are not really on form. They are not really delivering. But look, Kieran Trippier has done so much for this club. And if you're a Newcastle supporter, Magpies, you need to stick by him. Stick on his side. Stick by the player and actually provide him with all the support that he needs. Once again, yes, as we advance, Chelsea did go on to win the penalty shootout by 4-2. Mykhailo Mudryk, Christopher Nkunku, Callum Gallagher, as well as Cole Palmer, all slotting their penalties. Callum Wilson and Bruno Guimaraes were the players from Newcastle that actually did convert their penalties. Unfortunately for Matt Ritchie and Kieran Trippier, again, they're the ones that actually missed their spot kicks. Kieran Trippier dragged his penalty effort wide of the mark, as well as for Matt Ritchie, who hasn't really played that much this season, had his effort saved by the Chelsea goalkeeper, who was actually making his debut. So what a way for him to make his debut. So Chelsea now have advanced into the semi-finals as they will be making their 16th League Cup semi-final appearance, and basically this is their 59th semi-final appearance in all competitions. So congratulations once again to the Blues. This is basically their chance of claiming some silverware. Congratulations to them. Hopefully they can get silverware. And yeah, the Blues, the pride of London. London is blue at the end of the day.